Good morning, everybody. Sorry, I'm almost done here. I gotta put this on whatever. We had a little fishing attack this morning. Do not disturb me. Let's see what this guy tells me. Thank you for cooperating in this situation. You've been very helpful. Cool. Okay. End chat. Save the chat. Let's get it started in here. You guys, it's a wreck. It's a wreck over here. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Okay, let's see where we're at here. What are we doing? We got too many windows open. All the windows are open. This is the problem. We're going to go through the problem. In case you happen to have a problem, this is what you should do about it. Hi, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hello. Are we taking over the world? We're working on it. Good morning, good morning. Who is DCI? Okay, so what's going on with Rosanna? Oh, she got pain. Uh-oh. That's not good. Okay, so what happened was I was just minding my own business. What had happened was I was just over here just minding my own business, and I start in the morning. I got all my phones, and I'm like, okay, let's look at this. Now, mind you, let's start with the fact that Jefferson woke up at 4 o'clock this morning, so I've been up since 4 o'clock. He went back to sleep. I've been awake. I'm like, okay, I'm up. I'm going to do the things. I'm preparing. I'm doing all the things. I take Lily for the walk. We come back. I'm like, okay, computer things. And then I was checking messages because Tina had messaged the other day saying she was having some issue with her account. So I was looking at that. So I get into the files, the files, and here I get this email. Let me just show it to you. So this is an email from BigCommerce support. Now, BigCommerce is what runs my website. And they said, hey, you have a TLP file disruption, which continues to interfere with your background routing and product synchronization of your products. We need to handle this quickly. This is causing page errors, missing products, and data damage to your live store. Please respond support so that the team can get started on this. Lottie-dottie. I was like, that's weird. That seems weird. First of all, when I have a BigCommerce issue, or if you are using a platform of any kind, you're gonna go to your spot, and up here they're gonna send you little messages. This is your legit messages little place, and there was no messages. The only message I have says you have 32 products with low inventory, which is pretty normal for me. So I'm like, that's weird. So I don't respond support because I'm scared. I respond nothing. Blank email. Like, what are you guys talking about? Blank email. So then they send back this whole shebang of things that I have no idea what it means. And it says, here's your case reference number. This is from Linda at the Site Integrity and Compliance Desk for BigCommerce Approved Auditing Division. And I was like, Randy was unaware she was being audited, which I'm not, by the way. It's all fake. Here, they give me a case number, and they said, here's what's happening with your TLP related vulnerabilities, and then they list them out, which I have no idea what they mean. So I go over to ChatGPT, like all good humans do. If you don't have it, get it. And I go over here, and I said, hey, ChatGPT, what the H is going on with this? So I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey man, I just got an email from BigCommerce, and I just copy and pasted the email right here into ChatGPT. And then I said, what does this mean, and is it a scam? And they said, it's absolutely a scam. What's the email saying? So they break down all these things that the email is saying, which they're telling me are actual, they said these are actual terms, that these are real security terms that people use in the blah de blah, whatever. They said, but why does it look like a scam? Well, here's some reasons about why it's probably a scam. How you should verify it, gives you step-by-step instruction. And then they said, you should probably just, message in to BigCommerce and ask them if you have an auditing case out with this number. And if this is the case number and what's going, can they verify that and what's going on? So I did. I reached out on the live chat, which is what I was doing, and I said, "Hey man, this is what they said." And they said, "No, this is 100% a phishing scam. They're trying to get you to give them all of your information, probably so they can take all of your money. Isn't that just like in general what they do?" So he says, no. So now we've gotten off with them, and then he wanted me to download the email messages or whatever so they can go after them in the cyber world or whatever they do. I don't know. So anyways, that's that. And so now we got to mark this as spam. Report spam. Mute it. No, I don't want to mute it. Don't be muting it. Just report it as spam. You mute it just means you're not going to see it, and they're still going to be trying to spam you. All right, so now we got that going on. All right, so now let's go back over here where we're supposed to be. Got all this going on. We're on live chat because we're doing work. This is our life, and we're going to like it since we like it. And what else we got going on? That's it, I think. All right, now we don't need that. We should probably change passwords. We should make notes. We should always change passwords. Whenever there's issues, regardless of whether you think you need to, just change the passwords. Password change. Password change. We'll do that. We'll make a note for that. Okay. Oh, and then, while we were checking emails, we found out Hallie's coming to town. We got to have lunch with her. Hallie at 11:30. Okay. Now we're all caught up. Good Lord. Good morning, everybody. So, anyways, that's what's going on over here. Should you ever have questionable stuff? What is this? Do not reply. Thank you for your... Yeah. Okay. Roberto was just sending me a copy of the chat that we had. Always get a copy of the chat. Because if you don't have the copy of the chat, and then you save it. Because if you don't, they're going to say, well, we don't have that in our records. Yeah, well, Carol, I do. I have that in my records. I have lots of records. All right, we're done with that for today. Okay. So anyways, coffee is required. Absolutely. My coffee's probably cold. I'm still in my jammies. I didn't have time to get my my life together. So, here we are. I mean, technically this is what I'm wearing today. So whatever. We're going to do some beading now that all that hubbub is over. Update. We did not get to see the baby yesterday. What's up, Steady Spaghetti? We got to listen to the baby, but we didn't get to see the baby, and I thought that was weird because they always let us see the baby. But we were with this new gal. She's like the fill-in lady for the Dr. Gray. She's like the fill-in lady. And she said, nope. I even asked her. I said, can we just see the baby? She said, no. I said, why not? She said, you'll see him next month at your 20-week anatomy scan. And I said, okay. But we got to listen to the baby's heart, and they said everything is fine. They said everything will look good. Blood pressure is good. Things are good. Still in bed with a wrapped up left hand. Uh-oh. What happened to the left hand? Pants are not required. That's true. Pants are not required. What a way to start the day. Yeah, this is how I usually start the day, just with some kind of something going on. Hallie texted me. My cousin Hallie's coming to town. She's like, I'm going to be in town today. This is how they roll. Today. I'm going to be in town today. Can you? I was like, and I thought about saying, I did a bunch of running around yesterday and I didn't get all my shipping done. And I got 2 lives today and whatever. But I didn't say that. I just said, okay, where you want to meet? So I guess we're going to go to the Paddle Trap. I've never been to the Paddle Trap. It looks like a cool place. It looks like a place that I probably wouldn't normally go to because it looks kind of expensive. So I texted Jeff and I was like, have you ever been to the Paddle Trap? He said no. Did he answer me? I told him Hallie was coming and he could come if he wanted to. Oh, he did? No, that's Melissa. She's sending me Instagrams. I signed out of Instagram. I'm sick of Instagram. They just harass me so much. I don't like it. Okay. So, anyway. You slipped and fell on Sunday. Oh, no. I'm in my jammies half of the day. Hi, Linda. Hey, everybody. The name sounds weird. The Paddle Trap. Well, it's like by the river. Have you ever heard of paddlefish? You know about paddlefish. I think that's the dealio. Good morning. Yeah, so, anyway, so she was like, I'm coming to town. I said, okay, well, we'll do lunch. But I told her, I said, it's going to have to be early. But anyway, yeah, so they said everything's going good with Squish. And then we went to the vet. And, everything's going good with the pets, pretty much. So, Mr. Bunsen got a sparkling review. He just came out of the crate. And it was, because we got it, like, it's kind of a new vet. He's never met the vet. Lily met the vet once. It's a lady. She's really nice. But he just came out of the crate and just went walking up to her and was like, hi, my name's Bunsen. What's up with you? Just staring at her. And she's like, oh, look at you just being brave. I was just like, yeah, this is Bunsen. And then I got kind of scared because when I went in there and they said, oh, we have Bunsen and Cookie. And I'm like, nope, this is not Cookie. We don't have a Cookie. I'm not dressed either. Yeah. I guess nobody's dressed today. It's fine. Whatever. But yeah, so then they looked at Lily's foot. Remember she had a thing with her foot? And they just said, okay, well, we're not for sure what's going on here. It could be a lot of things. So we're starting out with just soaking it in Epsom salt and seeing if maybe there's something inside there. We got some, what is it? Were they anti-inflammatory, like to make the swelling go down? We got some of that. And then, so we're just thinking there might be a little something, a sticker or something in there. We're going to see if it's going to come out. If it doesn't, and it's still been 2 weeks, they also gave antibiotics. If it's been 2 weeks and it's still not better, then we're going to do an exploratory surgery. So, I hope that's not the case. Mr. Bunsen still weighs 13.2 pounds, as he normally does. And they gave him a sparkling review. They were very impressed with his teeth. They just started looking at his teeth, and they were like, this cat has the cleanest, bestest teeth we've ever seen in our whole life. And I was just like, yeah, all he eats is that really expensive CD food. So, I don't know. He got a good review, which is really funny because Jefferson's always trying to tell me that Mr. Bunsen's overweight and he's got the, because he's got the big belly that like swooshes back and forth. Like some cats have where the belly is like hanging down, and he's always been like that ever since we got him. And he's like, it's because he's too fat. And I'm like, he's not fat. He's not like superly overweight or anything. But she said that his coat looked really good and he was really good and they liked his teeth. Then they poked him in the butt with a needle and he was just like, that's not very nice on a first meeting. But yeah. Could be a grass seed. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The belly is a primal thing. Yeah, I thought so too. Like, because then they can't, like, bite it, like the organs or something, right? Because there's all this, like, skin and extra business in the way. Primordial pouch. Well, he's got a pouch, and he's always had it. It's not like it just happened. He's just always had it, and I'm just like, I think it's fine. Winter was one more story, and then we'll get to beading. Winter was trying to be sassy. So I got the little kennel out for Bunsen yesterday, and I put it on the table. He was on the bed taking a nap with Lily. So I went in there, and I just scooped him up, and then put him in his little kennel, and he's like, whatever, I'm in the kennel. He don't care about nothing. And then, so I was going to tell Winter, I was like, okay, Winter, you stay home, be good, you know, because she didn't have an appointment. Well, she saw me coming, and she was like, I'm going to hide from you, so you can't put me in the box or whatever. And I was like, oh. So she took off under the couch, and I said, oh, okay. And I just walked away, and then me and Lily and Bunsen left, and she was completely and utterly by herself for the first time and probably forever. And we came back, and she was just like, meow, meow, meow. And I was like, oh, well, that's what you get for not wanting to go with. It's a protective barrier for when they fight. Cat fights always seem to go for the belly. Yeah, that's kind of weird, right? Well, I suppose that's where the organs are. Anywho, let's switch over to the mat. All kinds of crap going on today. What else happened? I feel like there was more things yesterday. Yesterday was kind of a big day. I went and got groceries. I did go to the mailbox, and I sent out all the packages I had ready to go. Woo. And I did that. And I picked some more. So I have some picked. They're not ready. They're waiting to be shipped. You know, after the paddle boat trap or whatever. All right, so here we are today. How can it be grass seeds if they don't go outside? Lily goes outside. Not Mr. Bunsen, though. Lily goes out. She goes walking every day on the hill. That is correct. And it's all prairie up there. So there's all kinds of whatever, like, native North Dakota grasses, and there's yucca plants up there, and just all sage and all kinds of things. Like any native plants in North Dakota, they would be up there. Yeah. All right. I did work on my little book this morning. So we are on... I had to start a new book. I'm in the black and white situation now, which is kind of appropriate for the midnight menagerie, right? So here we are. This was our project number 1, and then now we're on to project number 2, and we're halfway done with it. This guy. So I was getting my pictures in there. I got a bunch of pictures in for this one. Pretty much done with this. There's like 2 designs in here that I gotta do. This one. This one. This is a peridot heart necklace. Remember that? We gotta do that still. And then I think there's a bracelet of some kind. Oh. There's these earrings. And then there's this bracelet from the dollar bead box. So we got 3 designs left in there, and then this guy is donezo. And then I don't have any more painted books left. And my paints are all in storage, but maybe I'll get them out of storage because, you know, we're going to be moving. All right, let me see if I can remember what I'm supposed to be doing here. Okay, we're just stringing it up. That's what we're doing. We're doing this design. We're here. Okay. So we're just going to finish this part for today. I decided if I don't finish them, you know, like online with you guys, then they'll just sit in the tray. And I'll just be on to the next, and then I'm just like, ugh. So I don't want to do that. I want to finish it. Good morning. Hi, Dot. Hi, wearing stones. I haven't seen you in a minute, lady. How are you? Bum, bum, bum. I need to photograph my necklace I finished yesterday. Get it in the Etsy shop. I think it'll only be there about a week. Well, that's good. Yeah. Good morning. They said, good morning, Annalise. Annalise has a YouTube channel called Wearing Stones. If you want to give her a look-see up. Over there in, give me a minute, I can get it. Not Germany. I can't remember. It's not Germany. I know it's that much. Greenland. No? Norway. Is it Norway? Over there in Norway. I am good. I dropped YouTube channel. Been doing mostly polymer clay. Oh, fun. Fun. I seen at like Hobby Lobby, they had these, which I'm sure are quite old because they were on clearance. They had some polymer clay stuff where it's like already rolled out and then you can just like cut it with the cookie cutters. I thought about that. Well, originally I was going to do a little kiln long time ago. I was like, oh, I want to get a kiln and get into the whole, because, well, it wasn't necessarily for polymer clay. Well, kind of. Not really. It was for, like, silver clay. You know, for making silver pendants and stuff. And I was going to get a kiln from Gina, because Gina had one, and she wanted to get rid of hers. And then they decided that they were going to try to use it again. And so they started doing that, so I missed out on that, but I was fine. But then after that, I was like, well, maybe it's just not meant to be. Maybe I don't have time for that right now. So, I don't know. Dun, dun, dun. How am I doing? I'm doing very good. You probably wouldn't think that based on this morning's carrying on, but, you know. It's actually going pretty good. I'm excited. Me and Jefferson are going to have this baby. I can't wait to have this baby. I'm so excited. Okay, now here's the problem. I'm out of crystals. It's only a problem if you let it be a problem. I have all these. Do you use French wire? No. Not usually. Hello. Most kilns require fancy electrical upgrades. I'm not fancy enough to have fancy electricity. Word. Same, Terry. I use a toaster oven for polymer clay jewelry pieces. I've heard people do that. That they've gone to the thrift and they've gotten a specific toaster oven that they're only going to use for jewelry making. And they use that. I'm not exactly sure how all that works, but, you know, things and stuff. Okay, so I'm currently out of the black crystals. I'm going to stop here to see if that's going to matter. Switch to this other side real quick, like. It's backwards over here. Backwards, okay. I was thinking that I need to order myself a jewelry book today of some sorts. And then I was like, do you need that, Randy? You could just go down to storage and try to find one of the 800 of them that you own. But honestly, I don't want to do that because I don't even know where they are. And then I thought, well, I just need a new one. I want a new one for you know, for inspiration. For funsies. That's what I want to do. Jeff thinks I'm a crazy person. He said, you know, there's like the internet. I'm like, it's not the same. Raise your hand if you feel the same. It's not the same as a book. When you can hold it in your hand and flip through the pages and do all that. It's not the same as it is on the interwebs. It doesn't give you the nostalgia. It doesn't give me the creative nostalgia that I need to get things working correctly. Ranger's having a sale. You had me at Ranger's having a sale. Yes, ma'am. All my little books that I have, I know, are on sale. I was going to order some the other day. I've ordered a whole complete new set. They start scaring me because now they're like always having the Diane Revelry. They always be having her stuff on clearance, and I'm like, are you trying to do away with my book system? Because I'm gonna be real mad about that. And then so I always stock up on them. But it's not been bad. Again, I did finally get the shaker. The shaker machine for the patina paints. Life-changing. Totes. Total game changer. I'm like, where are you at, little? Having problems differentiating between these black crystals and these golden sheen obsidians. Go. Doo-doo. I like Ranger 2 and Hero Arts. There is nothing like holding a book. Exactly. The smell, the weight, the gloss, the page turning. Yes, there's... This is very correct. Mastering Beadwork by Carol Huber. Stitched beading. Stitched beading. Is that like bead weaving types? Yeah, I don't even know what kind of book I need. I just want one. Remember I tried to go to the Hobby Lobby and find something? Not the Hobby Lobby. The Barnes and Noble when I got to Bismarck. No go. Nothing. They had nothing. I was quite upset about that. I'm going to have to get it online. And then I thought, maybe I'll go to eBay and see what they got. Because, sometimes they be doing some cool stuff on eBay. Sometimes they'll have lots, like lots of magazines and lots of like different crafting books. I did try to go to the thrift store the other day to see if they had any beading books. Apparently, out here, the beading books are non-existent. Where are we at here? We're here. We're here. We're here. We're going to do one more little spot. Okay. In Minnesota, they have you can usually find all kinds of beading books at the thrift store. Uh-oh. What are we doing? We're one teeny tiny black crystal short. I don't even believe that. I do not accept this. Would you look at that? Would you just look at that? It's a lucky day. Non-loom weaving, peyote and brick. I love books, but I tell you, I tend to Google long before I rely on the book. Yeah, I don't read the books. I just look at the pictures, and then I just wing it. That's how I be rolling over here. Okay. So we are officially I just want to see how far we are here, because we are in the middle and we've run out of swan crystals. Let's see what the length is on this bad boy. Hi, Joanne, sorry. This is very pretty so far. Hola, ¿cómo está? I love looking through the books. Yeah, the books, they just give me inspiration. Plus, it never turns out the way that, like, if you're, I'm not, like, copying the book or anything. Okay, so we're at 16. 16. So we need to add at least another inch or so. So I think what I'll do is I'm just gonna add these over here. Up at the top. Oh, I can see it. 1. I'm just going to add a certain number. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Shyster. 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to put a couple of these crystals on the end, because remember, I want to go back through when I end it. 2 is a weird number, so I'm going to put 3, because why not? This should get us to about 20 inches, I would think, once we get it all together. We'll do the same on this side. I already forgot what I said. Did I say 8? I think I said 8. I like having art in your hands. I love looking through books. Yeah. I think the book thing is just really cool, and we look at books a lot around here. Well, we haven't recently because most of them are packed up, but maybe if I get a new one, we can look at it. And then it's just kind of fun to have in your back pocket, for razzle-dazzle doings. It's my favorite. Whenever I do try to do a project, that's 3. 4. Whenever I do try to do a project, from the book, I always feel like it never really turns out right. But given I never use the right materials that they say you should use in the book, I'm always like, oh, we can use this. It'll be fine. We can use these. They're a little bit bigger, but it'll be okay. And then it's never okay. Well, sometimes it is, but very seldomly. But you still get to learn the techniques or whatever. 2, 4, 5. 6, 7, these little guys, 8, 8, it was 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 3 of these, 1, 2, 3. Alrighty. Now let's see. You see the whole thing? Ooh, that's the wrong way. Yeah. I think that's going to give us 20 inches, especially once we do get everything on here. Yeah, 20 on the dot, basically. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's get the ending on. You love the design? Isn't it cute? So this is kind of like my yin and yang version. The light side and then the dark side. Surprisingly, I did add these swan crystals. I did add these little bicones. The rest is from Bargain Bead Box. I did add these just because I made them on the bail, and then I was like, oh, well, we have them. Let's add them. So we did. And I'm quite happy with it, actually. Put these away. I want to put these in this little jar. I just feel like when they're in a jar, I like to use them better. Because they're cute. See? They're in a little tiny jar, then they're cute. I miss when magazines were a thing. I have a ton of magazines, and I don't even care. I still use mine. Some of them are from the 80s. I don't care. There's still razzle dazzle in there. Let me tell you what. And if you wait long enough, it'll just recycle. Oh, I was gonna put this in here. Pick this up so I don't be throwing stuff all over the place. Alrighty. So we did have a few left. And we are doing silver. I think we said we were doing silver. I found the need to bead how to make 60 beautiful glass beading projects at the thrift store last week. Felt like my grandkids do when their toys on Christmas. I know, right? So good when you can find them at the thrift store. Okay, we need what do we need here? This is not what we need. I have a magnet. Should we use a magnet? Why not? It's a super magnet. I'm gonna do it. Squeak. Okay, and then a jump ring. We've got some teeny tiny jump rings. I don't want those. I want some 6s. Do we have some 6s? Can I get some 6s? These look mostly like not 6s. Yeah, there's some in there. Most of this show is just me talking to myself. I'm just like, what? Are you talking to me? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm sorry. Guess what I found out? This was an interesting case. Yesterday I found this out. I don't know if you guys know who Eugenia Cooney is. Does anybody know Eugenia Cooney? She is a girl who's on the internet. She does, I think she's like does video gaming or something. Well, oh, Heather knows who she is. She's in the hot water in court, I heard, because the parents of Eugenia, now Eugenia has notoriously had an eating disorder that she denies. She says she used to have one in the past. She doesn't anymore. She's been to treatment, she said. But she's very, very thin. If you've seen her, you would know that there's something wrong. And the mothers of these girls, or who, I guess they didn't say they were all girls, whoever they were, children, are suing her because they said her channel, where she plays video games, is addictive to the children, and also that it is encouraging them to have, or maybe not encouraging, influencing them to have anorexia or other eating disorders. And she's in court right now, I heard. And I'm like, they're going after her, but they're also going after TikTok. Now, I do know in the past that she was banned from YouTube some years ago in the past, I think, when I first came across her. How did I come across her? I came across her for makeup tutorials or fashion or something she was doing. She was doing some kind of something. Because I am not a video gamer. Anyways, so why is this important and why are we talking about it? Because they're now suing people who are online influencing others to do things. And I'm like, that kind of affects us. Not that we're doing anything bad unless everybody becomes a wild, crazy beater. Which, I mean, I guess could negatively affect your life if you stop going to work. How has beating negatively impacted your life? If you stopped, like, I don't know. I was just thinking about that. And I was just thinking about, like, how technically beating could be considered a problem if you, like, you know, how you stay up all night and you do beating, you know, sometimes, you know, and you're like, yeah, I have to work tomorrow, but, you know, I really want to get this necklace done. Or maybe how it affects your social relationships, your relationships with your partners when you're just locked up in the room. You're locked up in the bead room. And they're just like, aren't you going to feed the family? Aren't you going to come out? And you're like, no. And they're like, I need attention. You're always beading. You never have time for me. You know, that kind of thing. That could negatively impact your bead life. If you have a job and you don't go to it, that could negatively impact you. If you're still laying in bed watching beading instead of getting up and going to work, this could be a problem. That's correct, Kimberly. I'm trying to get myself a little slack. I want a little more. I gotta be in the perfect spot here. Not too much. Just enough. You know, I'm just saying, if you forget to eat because you were so focused on your bracelet, it could be a problem. So, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that, I mean, obviously, this Eugenia Cooney case was, you know, significant. There was a lot of things going on there. But technically, I'm just saying technically, anything really could be considered problematic if people choose to make it a problem for themselves. You know what I mean? Not that I think that that's okay, that people are promoting negative things or anything. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like that Eminem song, you know, where he says, how much damage can you do with a pen? I just said it. I didn't know if you'd do it or not. It's like, yeah, these people are making their own choices. I don't know. I don't know if I can back that up. I think they're just maybe saying it's kind of a bigger deal because it is younger children and her audience is younger, and it's you know, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but in the mental health Bible, the DSM-5, the most deadly mental health disorder is anorexia, followed by bulimia, because in which you are addicted to actually starving yourself to death. Like people die a lot with that disorder. So I get that, but I'm also like, are we kind of using this as like maybe a case to accuse? Exactly. TikTok and social medias, and we're maybe trying to get a little money, or what's happening here? Like, are we trying to be like, this isn't safe? But it's like, if y'all are trying to say it's not safe, you're a little late. If you think the internet is not safe, we know. Like, we know it's not safe out here. The internet? You crazy? I kind of feel like I want to double these up now. Safety first, do you think? Let me see. I think I could. I think I could just slip them in there. We're learning to be psychic mediums. They tell you to always say, I'm not a doctor. And if you have concerns, you should see yours, etc. Freedom of speech, but not freedom of consequences. Yeah, there's all kinds of things going on around. So, I don't know. I'm just like, all right. Know what we're doing here. Although if you don't know this girl and you happen to look her up, visually you'll just see like, oh, I could see where maybe some moms thought this was an issue. You know? Because, it is an issue. I just don't know that it's her issue for everybody else, I don't know. And also, arguably, if that's the case, if they're saying, like, she's out here promoting, because I don't know if you guys know this or not, this is not working. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there is actual promoting of, like, it's called Anna. They call it Anna, which is short for anorexia, and they have websites that are, like, and let me be more specific. It's websites and like chat groups that tell people, especially people who are maybe just getting into this kind of lifestyle. They try to tell them, first of all, it's a lifestyle, and secondly, they tell them like how to not eat, like drink vinegar, and that'll curb your hunger, and do this and that, and how to fool your parents into thinking that you're eating, and how to when you have to go get weighed, how to add weight, like these types of things, like tips and tricks, okay? And they do have those things. And I don't think she's like that, because herself she's kind of in denial of her own situation. So I don't think that she can be like held accountable for that. But I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens. Most places have parental controls. I suggest parents use them. Exactly. All right, we're donezo. Let's give it a look-see. I was gonna double up on the hoobies. I tried to do it and they got crisscrossed and I didn't like it, so I said no to that. But anyway, here we are. I very much like it. Let's try it on. So these are earth magnets, so they're super magnets, so you should slide. Don't pull, slide. Encourage clients to slide, not pull. Okay. And it's great! Oh, it's great! Don't you think it's great? It's quite great. It's little and it's cute. It's got the whole opposite-y thing going on. I like it. Very cute. Hey, I'm pretty impressed with me. I'm not even gonna lie. I've been slightly impressed with me the last couple of projects we've made. It happens, I guess. Certain age kids get smart enough to work around it. Parents also have a responsibility to monitor what their children watch and deny access if necessary. It's great. It's great. It is great. I am quite happy with it. Yeah. Well, okay, so here's the finished product. Where's the book? Book. Not that book, this book. Okay, so here was the idea. This is before we had the little bicones to put in, and before we decided to do the beaded bail, which I think was a good choice. Very pretty. Love the asymmetry. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on with that, but I just noticed it, and it was kind of interesting because I was like, oh, not necessarily like that her specifically, but just like, you know, how people are now going after social media, and I'm like, because there was a bunch of hubbub also in the makeup world with influencers making makeup that they said, how did they phrase it? They said like, oh, I was like, what is that? They said, so it was like, remember the mascara thing where what's her face? So there's this gal and she was showing the new mascara and she like, the camera like clipped out and then she like had a fake lash on or something. And then she was trying to pretend it was from the mascara that she had done, put the mascara on, and it made this like fake eyelash situation, which obviously was not true. And there was all this false advertising, but then the company wasn't taking responsibility because they're like, well, we didn't tell her to do that. She did that. That's her problem. But yet they still paid her like hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know, because then everybody was like, well, I got to see. And they went out and bought this, and it was like a drugstore. It was like a drugstore mascara. It was like a Maybelline, I think, or something like that. L'Oreal. And they all went out and bought it for, you know, whatever it is, $12 now, which is insane for a mascara. Can I just say, I personally think it's insane to pay $12 to $15 for a drugstore mascara, let alone any mascara for that matter. That's just my opinion. Says the girl wearing no makeup. But yeah, so like, I don't know, it's just interesting on how it's like playing out on social media and what people are considering to be influence and lottie-dottie. I will say, I don't even know why I'm talking about this. Promoting not eye safe powders. Yeah, not eye safe powders as eyeshadow palettes. Yeah, they got all kinds of stuff. I will say there is one person that I do not agree with. And I think they should have done something with him. But, I mean, that's to be said about maybe somebody who's also not as famous. I only know about this because this person is famous. But there was a guy, he is part of the LGBTQ community, who was proven to be basically grooming younger boys who were not of age, and that's inappropriate. And he admitted this online, and then there was no like repercussions. Like they didn't take him off the internet, and he's a big influencer guy, and they left him on the internet with like his thousands, hundreds of thousands of hundreds of, I don't even know, like millions of followers. And knowing he was doing this type of behavior, there was no charges drawn up of lawful charges of any kind, even though he came out and admitted all this on the internet. Then he did an apology for it, and then he took all his videos down. And the problem that I have with that is that some of these kids who are watching this person are not, it happened a while ago, so they're like not old enough to know that this happened, because they're not going to research and go back that far. And that person is still making millions of dollars off of that same young fan base that they've been known to take advantage of. And I'm just like, you shouldn't be on the internet. That is one thing I'll say about it. I don't think that's appropriate. I know who you are talking about, and he doesn't lose his contact with the big beauty brand either. Right. I only wear makeup for matches and dispatches. What? Hatches, matches, and dispatches. Almost exclusively. New news. How are we feeling? I wear makeup 2 or 3 times a year. Oh, well, Jefferson just fixed my makeup last night. I got the Subtle stack. I think I told you guys about that. The Subtle, it's called Subtle, is the name of the brand. And it's just like, it just comes in a little tiny stack like this. You get like a concealer and a bronzer and a blush and a highlighter and an eye thing and lips. And it's all in one little stack and they screw together. It's basically like this. It's basically like this, but they're smaller, you know, like thinner. And they just stack up so you can just throw them in your bag and go. And that was all fine. And I was like, okay, cool. And then they got stuck together. Like, you couldn't get them apart. So when I went on my trip to Minnesota, I, like, brought it with me, and I got to the hotel, and I couldn't get it apart. So I couldn't wear any of my makeup. Curious minds want to know. About the person I was talking about? James Charles. So I couldn't get them apart, so Jeff was out here last night, really late at night, trying to get them apart. And he was like running water over them. And then he had his knife and he was trying to get in there. He finally got them all taken apart because they're coming out with a different packaging. And I was like, well, that's kind of nice. So whatever. I emailed her, but lipstick and mascara sometimes. Yes. Well, I like the Subtle because I can wear it and it doesn't make it. I don't have any allergic reactions. If y'all been around here for any amount of time, you know I'm allergic to everything. So that was really nice that I found this and it works and I don't have any issues with it so far. Sometimes I'll use something and then I'll create an issue with it. Like it'll be like, oh, this was good for 2 weeks and now it doesn't work anymore. That kind of happened with that e.l.f. mascara. I got a really nice e.l.f. mascara. When it was new, I used it, no problem. And then it was like a month old. And then it caused issues with my eyes. And I had to stop using it. Yeah. Mine too. What? My internet keeps pausing. Oh no. Maybe it's me. Have you tried Bare Minerals? I have. I have allergic reactions to Bare Minerals. I've tried a lot of things, but this Subtle seems to work pretty good, so I like it. And I like that it's kind of like, they just have like a little concealer, but it's so thin that you can kind of go all over and just use it as, like, you could spot with it, or you could just use it as kind of like a foundation. And I like that because then, you know, I don't like to wear like a whole bunch because it's supposed to be subtle, you know. The name of the game. But I do wear lipstick. I'm not wearing lipstick today, and you can tell why I always wear really bright lipstick, because I look like I died and somebody microwaved me. It's because I don't have any lipstick on. Oh, you guys, I'm going to screw around and get kicked off the internet. All right, well, it is 10:05. I just used chapstick. I'm bored with it. I think that I don't know. I think my problem is that just takes too much long. That's too long. It takes too much time. And then I tried all the little shortcut ways. Like I got a blow dryer that like is a brush and you're supposed to like do the blowout thing. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. I gotta walk this dog. So, something is wrong with the internet lately. Oh, probably. They're probably getting ready to kick us off since we were just talking about big influencer people. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to jump off here. I am going to go to the paddle boat fish. No, what is it called? Paddle trap? I'm going to go to the paddle trap for lunch. I will keep you posted. I'll give you an update on that tomorrow. Let you know how it goes. Yes, I like Burt's Bees colored lip gloss. I have had some success with Burt's Bees has makeup online, and I have had some success with that. I'm trying to think. They have like a cheeky stick, and they have a. They had a foundation. I want to say they had a foundation. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna do that, and then I am going to ship some orders. And then I am going to be on at 3 o'clock today because it's Wednesday. So for members only, I will be on at 3 o'clock. I think today we'll pick one of these guys to make that we put together here the other day. Because they're just sitting here. So we'll pick one of those out and we'll whip that up real quick, like. That's probably what we'll do. All right, guys. Well, I hope well, some of you I'll see later today, but some of you I'll see tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a good day. Feel free to swing over to the Facebook group and let us know what you're working on today. Put some pictures. You can just do hashtag what's on my mat today. And then if you want to give us some updates on your FOC challenges, those are going to be becoming due soon. I don't know when, but soon. If you got FOC updates, and yeah, have a good adventure today. I am going to try. I'll see you guys later.